This is a nuke ops round on the Harmony server aboard Bagel Station, and I cut out the first 25 or so minutes, so that's how far we are in. The plan is an ATS plan, but not in the usual way that you would think. The plan here is actually to wait and ambush a cargo tech, which isn't new, but they actually want to go undercover as the cargo tech that they kill and reboard the station themselves. Not too long until a cargo tech shows up. They definitely could tell that something was wrong. Not only was there just tracking implants already ordered, which I don't know if they were there for approval of that, but there was some suspicion that they had some weird suspicion that somebody was there, and they were killed so quickly that there was zero warning that there was any Nukie team there. So a few minutes has passed, and one of the Nukies has now gone undercover as not the person that they killed, but as a different cargo tech. So that means that this person wouldn't be on the manifest or anything. They're not even trying to impersonate them. I mean, to be fair, they are a male human, and the person they killed is a female slime. So if the quartermaster is paying any attention, they would realize that there's somebody being impersonated. So this Nukie went for showing up as, I'm guessing they're going to play off as a visitor, or just saying that they were cut from the manifest. There's a lot of ways you could kind of lie about this, but the people on the supply radio are getting impatient that the orders weren't arriving because, well, I mean, the cargo tech's been dead for at least 5 minutes now, and it normally does not take a cargo tech that long to unload even just a few boxes. So they are docking, and they have their face covered with a voice mask, obviously, and they've managed to show up at cargo at a time period where somebody actually is here. So at this point, they are literally just acting as a undercover cargo tech. They're delivering the goods, and the salvagers, no one actually seems to question that this random cargo tech who no one's seen before is just doing the work, and their slime coworker hasn't returned. They even go out and deliver stuff. They very much blend in at this point. At this exact second right here, the head of security actually cryoed. I think there was a promotion in game, but I think that will help clear up a tiny bit as to why there wasn't too much of a security concern as to what happens next. Next, unfortunately, they decide to head back to the ATS, and Ava was a late join. They had no idea that this person was not part of cargo originally. There's just no way you could have known that, even if you didn't see it on the ATS. I like how they let the undercover take the time to shoot first, which I appreciate that. They could have just murdered her instantly, but yeah, there was no time to do anything other than scream. Absolutely brutal. Immediately after they killed that second cargo tech, they decide that it's time to go loud and start doing stuff. This here is, I guess, I hate using the word misplay. People think I'm being overly critical, but this is a misplay. They failed to emag the console, so it just warned everyone on cargo radio that they just ordered 2 SMG crates and a shotgun crate. However, no one does anything about this. Another spoiler alert, literally no one on the station is worried about it, says anything. I think an engineer out of all people for some reason overheard it through the intercom. They got those guns completely for free. WTs are probably the best gun in the game right now. Our L6 is better, but for a gun that can be easily acquired and the one-handed shooting, the WT is just not beat. They disabled the cargo shuttle. They don't take time going through and destroying the whole ATS, thank God. As the Nukies are literally flying in from the right side of the screen towards cargo, they did just finally get fully revealed that somebody ordered a armory's worth of guns, and people are starting to get more concerned on the station. So let me just pause real quick. So all 4 Nukies are arriving at cargo. There are people in cargo, but there's no security presence. If we move over our camera over to Hop, we can see that the captain is not overly majorly concerned with it, and people in security are not arming up, but they are discussing it. But it's too late. The discovery and the action came far too late. There's no time to fully arm at this point to at least stop the initial wave. But Bulldog immediately showing up, putting the first person down. Cargo techs also, salvagers also just getting slaughtered right off the rip. Not even using their bot guns yet. They're using the guns they brought originally. But this was just brutal for the station here. Just everyone's just a little too slow to react to the happenings off the station even. But the red alert does come after the first shots are fired. For some reason, I don't know the full context of this, the Hop is just out here in space with somebody else. I'm not entirely sure why, but this Nukie was not wasting any time with this. They just chased him down at the East Lord, and yeah, that's free access delivered to the agent. I will give credit. The Nukies have spent a few minutes, probably like 3 or 4 minutes since the Hop died, and I will give credit. The captain, thankfully, is staying far away from the Nukies. Captains typically have the tendency to really want to be like the frontline hero, which makes sense. I mean, they're the captain of the station, they're responsible for its crew. But in the context of nuclear operatives, you dying will kill the entire crew much harder than actually getting shot. And you have to, the clown decides to slip the new head of security literally at the exact second that Nukie show up, and you could basically say that this clown killed the head of security. That's like just gotta be the worst timing for a clown. If I was the clown, I mean, I don't know why he was slipping the head of security on a red alert. I mean, like, yeah, it's funny, but like, it's a red alert, damn it. Pretty considerable portion of the crew, but none of the people that they die in the first volley of bullets were particularly armored, just EVA suit and CE armor. Paquito and another, a few more, trying to hold the line. Paquito eating many L6 shots. This L6 shot's really on point here. I also have to really appreciate this cover fire through the windows of the laser rifle there. It's a really brutal angle. But unfortunately for the crew, the Nukies are doing a fantastic job sticking together, and they are incredibly armed at this point. They haven't even gone through the crew guns that they stole. They're just, well, I guess the Bulldog ammo's being used. You can hear them loading their drums now. But yeah, all 4 of them sticking together, none even being put in a crit. They're just going to heal up without much of a counter action a little bit, or I can't even tell if that hit them, but really want that Borg dead. Didn't get it though. Captain, as you heard that sound, was actually updating the AI to Nuttymov, but they're completely alone in a one-way bridge, and yeah, that's not an ideal situation at all. Captain walks right into them, but WT accurate, pretty good damage. Captain Hardsuit not armored enough to survive that, especially not survive the other 3 that were right behind them. Not even a chance to call for help, just dead immediately. Nukie spends some time bombing the AI. They only C4 it though, which doesn't actually disable it, and it seems like seemingly they just kind of leave without even finishing it off. You can hear him talking about a mini bomb. There is a little bit of a crew push here. They feeds the fishes, which they saw flying around earlier, but none of them are armed enough, especially now with a laser rifle, to get the damage required to actually down a Nukie here. But they are buying some time. Every second matters in a Nukie round for sure, especially once the Nukies are already on board and have the disc. Being able to stall for more people to get revived, get armed, is always very useful. They fly back all the way back to the Infiltrator to restock before the final fight. After restocking, they dock directly back to the cargo branch of the station. The AI has already preemptively bolted them off. The AI is now also under Nuttymov, so due to being under Nuttymov, they are allowed to do things like this, and, well, the Nukies are definitely the squirrels in this situation. The crew does have a few people here, but it's because they weren't fully aware of it now. Either way, the AI is allowing them in to defend the Acorn. Gotta love Nutty Mauve. Nukies take a few pot shots in. Actually manage to land a lot of those bulldog shots there. Fighting around this bolted off door allows the crew to get a few good shots in. They're trying to get some shots in through the curtains there, and they are indeed doing so, or whatever these are called, flaps. Really, really good shots here. Unfortunately, not able to hit one specific Nukie, but that had to have done hundreds of damage to all of them. Some bulldog mishaps. I don't know how or why the AI is allowed to bolt the door, but they are getting absolutely fuddled. But the crew is trying to utilize this. Unfortunately, the people with the guns are either reloading and they're putting the person with the PKA in to keep doing damage, but they are doing damage. They're doing a lot of damage here. L6 Saw returns in kind. The door has finally taken so much fucking damage from bullets that it got destroyed in. Like, absolutely massive gunfight breaks out from that. The Nukies, realizing they're under a ton of pressure, have no choice but to kind of just start spraying in any direction they can. Surprisingly, even after how many bullets hit all of them, none of them go crit. The agent absolutely getting every dollar that the syndicate probably don't pay them for this, but keeping everyone just helped off enough to not go into Krieg and heal them, continually doing medicine with their energy shield out. This agent is just playing out of their mind here with the treatments. Literally no one went into crit, even in a terrible situation for them. Nukies not getting too distracted trying to arm the bomb. Half of them are still keeping an eye on the doors directly. Fortunately, the shocked grill knocked him down in the line of fire. Somehow not dead, though, from all that. They managed to get away just in time. Nuke armed in the top corner of the, well, cargo branch. Well, it was too close to space. It was primed, but not armed. There we go. Another large portion of the crew trying to recover, come back. Most of these guys are armored. I don't think cargo space. It's kind of hard to tell. But EMP's going off, disabling the head of security's energy. Shotgun there. The Sabler SMG still manages to have ammo in. Good flank coming from up top. Big gunfight going down below. This is, for being a low pop server, this is definitely one of the crazier gunfights I've ever seen. It's like just so loud. It's hard for me to even commentate because I can't hear myself think. But just flank after flank, using every angle in this 2D game, getting shots off. Top door flank coming off once again. Still, not a single Nukie has reached crit. The agent just out of their mind healing. I'm just watching them heal right now. EMP actually probably helpful there. It took the APC out, shrouding them in darkness. But just wave after wave of bullets. The entire floor is just covered in casings and blood at this point. Most of it's still the crew's blood, though. The Disabler SMG almost getting a hit off, but EMP implant proving superior to the Disabler SMG. I can see people going crit in the darkness, but the crew still absolutely just, like, clean nades trying to make some form of, like, there was some potassium bombs going off there. Bulldogs, or that's a Kamerer. Just still, I don't think any Nukie has gone crit. I probably should turn the lights on just so we can see a little bit better because it is really dark. I want to see people getting hit here. The clean nades are probably not helpful to the crew, or at least the second one. Either way, though, just the bullets have literally never stopped firing here. The clean nades are slipping the crew now. All the Nukies have no slip, so it's just putting them at a pretty big disadvantage while the water expires here. But either way, not every play is going to be a perfect play. Even after all of that, a massive explosion takes out the head of security. The Nukie commander still standing. All 4 Nukies still standing. As I say that, we got our first crit. But they pull out a crit, get re-down by their own Nukie. They're just stunned, but they're still fucking standing. I don't understand how at this point. Literally invincible. How many bullets have hit this Nukie team? They're not even using, like, raid suits or juggernaut suits. And they seem borderline invincible. But the amount of crew deaths is just surmounting. It's not many people left. You've got people wearing EVA suits trying their best with Disablers, but good lord, the agent has had to have healed thousands of HP at this point. Just an absolute disgusting amount of healing. Because here, panic magazines being purchased, but the crew is mostly destroyed at this point. The slipping probably cost the crew this. They were getting to the point they were critting people, but 4 or 5 crew members slipped at that point, which is really brutal. Anyways, though, it just doesn't take away from... I honestly am going to say this is probably the best Nukie round I've seen. Captain back up on their feet, trying to get some AK shots in, but they're up against 4 standing Nukies still. Charging in heroically with their saber, managing to cut them up a little bit, but still just devastating, still not even able to get them in the crit. But holy shit, I'm going to say it, I think that was the best Nukie round I've seen. That's the best intense fighting I've seen. That's probably the best agent I've ever seen by a long shot. I can't believe they held that as long as they did, not even using Juggernaut suits, not using raid suits. Literally the last crew members attempting to land any bullets on them, but the Nukies have already healed at this point. They called it. They're going to retreat. No time left to defuse at this point. The security officer, they try. They look at the nuke, but they realize that there's just no time left. They desperately start the timer as the Nukies fly away. All 4 of them still standing. Station completely and utterly destroyed.